There's a new number making the rounds. Americans, in a widely covered 2026 survey, said they think they need $1.46 million to retire comfortably. That number jumped $200,000 from the year before, and people are reacting to it exactly the way you'd expect, with dread. But here's what nobody tells you about that number. It's not the scary part. Before we get into why, let's do something the headlines never bother to do. Let's translate it. A simple 4% example turns $1.46 million into roughly $58,400 in year one withdrawals. Divide that by 12, and you get about $4,867 a month before taxes. That's not a fortune. That's a monthly budget. One that has to cover housing, food, healthcare, and everything else for however many years are left. And that's where this story actually starts, not with the size of the pile, with what happens to it month by month. Here's the first thing to understand about the $1.46 million number. It's not an official retirement requirement. There's no government agency, no regulator, no universal formula that says that's what you need. It's a number people reported believing they'd need in a survey. That's a very different thing. It's a measurement of anxiety, not a benchmark. An EBRI's 2026 Retirement Confidence Survey backs that up. Only 64% of Americans said they feel confident they have enough money to live comfortably through retirement. That's down from the year before. Big headline numbers haven't made people calmer. If anything, confidence is slipping. Now here's why that matters. The Federal Reserve's most recent survey of consumer finances from 2022 gives us a look at where people actually stand. Among families aged 65 to 74 who have retirement accounts, the weighted median balance is about $200,000. The mean is about $609,000. The survey target sits at $1.46 million. Those are very different numbers, and that gap is the real story. The median is pulled up by a small number of very large balances, and even then, not everyone 65 to 74 has a retirement account at all. According to the same Fed data, only about 51% of families in that age group had positive retirement account balances. About 8.4% had $1 million or more. That's the group the headline is built around. Most households are somewhere else entirely. So why do people with far less than $1.46 million feel the squeeze even if they manage to retire? Because the squeeze isn't about the number. It's about the sequence. Retirement isn't one calm withdrawal followed by a life of leisure. It's a monthly system with multiple moving parts arriving at different times in different amounts. Let's walk through what that actually looks like. Start with income. The Social Security Administration's 2026 data shows the average retired worker benefit is $2,071 a month after the 2.8% cost of living adjustment. If you also have a portfolio drawing at 4%, add roughly $4,867 a month before taxes. Combined, that looks like a reasonable monthly start. But then the first bill arrives, Medicare Part B. The standard 2026 premium is $202.90 a month. It went up $17.90 from 2025. That's automatically subtracted before you see the check. And that's just the standard rate. About 8% of Part B enrollees pay an income-related adjustment on top of it. The first higher income tier raises the monthly premium from $202.90 to $284.10. The top tier reaches $689.90 a month. So retirement can have cliffs, not just averages. A modest portfolio draw combined with Social Security can push you into a higher income tier and change your monthly costs by hundreds of dollars. That interaction is invisible in any headline savings target. Now add inflation. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the Consumer Price Index was up 4.2% over the 12 months ending May 2026. Housing up, food up, medical care up. The target is a fixed number, printed once. The costs keep moving every month. AARP's 2026 Financial Security Trends Survey asked older adults directly about this. 69% said prices are rising faster than their income. That feeling isn't irrational. It's a direct description of what inflation does to a fixed monthly budget. Then there's something the savings conversation almost never touches. What happens when the bills aren't regular? EBRI found that 2 in 5 retirees said their overall expenses in retirement were higher than they expected, not slightly higher, noticeably higher. Healthcare is a big part of that, but there's one line item in particular that most retirement plans undercount or miss entirely: long-term care. Not hospital stays, not routine appointments, the kind of ongoing personal care that comes with aging, help with daily living, assisted facilities, memory care. Medicare doesn't pay for most of that. According to Medicare.gov, beneficiaries pay all costs for non-covered services, and most long-term care falls into that category. That's not a loophole. That's how it was designed. And it's a cost that can be large, unpredictable, and not visible in any savings target. And here's one more piece that most retirement math skips: debt. EBRI found that 65% of workers said debt is a problem for their household. About 3 in 5 workers said debt hurts their ability to save for retirement or live comfortably in it. The clean retirement model assumes you reach the finish line debt-free with a clear balance sheet. Many households don't. They carry mortgages, credit balances, or other obligations into retirement. That changes the monthly math before the first bill even arrives. So here's the reframe. The mistake isn't the number itself. The mistake is treating retirement like a finish line you cross once. You hit the target and then you're safe. That's not what happens. A nest egg is a reservoir. What matters is what's draining it, how fast, and when. Think about two retirees, same starting balance, same general plan. One has a quiet month, regular bills, no surprises. The other gets an unexpected medical bill, a home repair, and a premium adjustment in the same month. Identical balance on day one, completely different month. The savings target doesn't tell you which month you'll have. And over a retirement that could last 20 or 30 years, the sequence of those months is everything. There's another layer here that doesn't get enough attention. Retirement isn't just a spending problem, it's a timing problem. When you take Social Security matters, when you start drawing from your portfolio matters, those two decisions interact with each other, with your tax bracket, with Medicare thresholds, and with how long you live. Speaking of taxes, Social Security benefits can become taxable once your income reaches certain thresholds. The IRS uses a combined income test. Once half your Social Security plus your other income crosses $25,000 for a single filer or $32,000 for a married couple filing jointly, part of your Social Security may be taxable. That's not a penalty. That's a built-in interaction between two income sources designed separately. But it means a retiree drawing from their portfolio, collecting Social Security, and paying Medicare premiums may owe more in taxes than expected, and none of that shows up in a savings target headline. How about the people who are closest to retirement right now? AARP found that among not yet retired adults over 50, 42% have less than $50,000 in retirement savings. For those households, the conversation about $1.46 million versus $1.26 million is almost academic. The real question isn't which headline to aim for, it's how to build any meaningful monthly income from whatever savings exist, whatever Social Security will provide, and whatever costs look like when they get there. And that cost environment is part of the problem. The survey target was published in early 2026. Prices have moved since those underlying assumptions were formed. Costs in retirement aren't locked in when you retire, they keep moving. Inflation isn't a one-time adjustment, it's a monthly pressure that compounds over the length of retirement. A 4.2% annual inflation rate applied to a fixed monthly budget means things cost meaningfully more in year 5 than in year 1, and more still in year 15. That's why a savings target that felt right at 60 may feel wrong at 75, not because the person failed, but because the cost environment moved. Then there's Social Security uncertainty. Not a claim that it's disappearing, that's not what the data says. But EBRI found that worry about Social Security's future value is now one of the primary drivers of retirement anxiety. Many people factor in reduced benefits as a planning assumption. That uncertainty affects behavior and confidence even before retirement begins. And finally, there's time. How long a retirement lasts is the one variable nobody can plan for exactly. A 30-year retirement isn't 3 times as expensive as a 10-year one. The longer the time horizon, the more the early assumptions drift. Costs change, health changes, family situations change. A plan that felt solid at 65 may need significant adjustment at 78. Every one of these taxes, timing, inflation, Social Security uncertainty, surprise costs, and time horizon is invisible inside a single savings target. So what does a better frame look like? Not a different number, not a higher target or a lower one, a different equation. Retirement security isn't about hitting $1.46 million and stopping. It's about what monthly income you can generate, what safety nets exist, what fixed costs will claim first, what surprise costs might arrive, and how long the whole system has to hold together. That's a messier picture than one headline number, but it's an honest one. To close the loop on the opening, if someone did start retirement with $1.46 million and used a simple 4% draw, they'd have about $4,867 a month before taxes. Social Security might add something, but Medicare claims a piece immediately. Housing claims more. Food, transportation, taxes each takes a share. Then the surprises come, and then time. That's not a reason to despair. It's a reason to think differently about what the big number actually represents. The big number was loud. The monthly math was the story. The $1.46 million headline will get replaced by the $1.6 million headline next year, or the $1.7 million headline the year after. Those numbers travel well. They create clicks and conversations, but they're measuring how people feel about retirement, not how retirement actually works. How retirement actually works is a monthly system. Income arrives, claims arrive, some costs are predictable, some aren't, and it runs for as long as it runs. If you found this useful, the next video looks at what the Social Security timing decision actually costs you, and why getting it wrong is harder to fix than most people realize. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.